It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to have a dad bod. It's okay to slack off. She'll try to get you, oh, you work out too much. I done had women tell me that before. Oh, you work out too much. Then you stop working out, and they looking at the next dude that's working out too much. So don't never listen to what the woman says. You'd be a damn fool to do that. Don't listen to what a woman says. I might be like, whoa, Cole, that sounds kind of misogynistic. Oh, it might sound a little misogynistic, but it's true. Women tend to be creatures of misdirection, right? But a lot of time we expect women to move how we move. Straightforward, direct. That's not how they operate, right? So a lot of time they'll try to make things sound good. They'll be focused on how you feel, your emotions, stuff like that. And then they'll tell you some BS. What type of lies do women tell? They say, I want to see your emotions. They say, oh, I like a dad bod, you know? And a lot of times that's not the truth. Emotion, I want you to show your emotions. Then you cry in front of her and she lose feelings. She gets the ick, you know? So they would tell you a lot of lies that sound good because they never thought the whole process out. In their head, it's like, oh, it sounds good for my man to open up to me. And if we going through tough time, we can sit here and cry together. But then she get in that situation and y'all crying together. And now she like, damn, we really going out bad. In the back of her head, she thinking we going out bad. And as the man, you should be the leader of your woman. What type of leader is going to cry in front of their people, right? I'm not trying to get too political, but I think Trump got it. I think after he got dinged, he got popped in his ear, and he got up and he was going like that. I said, he got it. He got it. He gonna win, in my opinion. But imagine if he would have laid on the ground and cried. He would have been done for. He would have been done for. But he showed that strength. He showed that power. And as a leader, that's how you have to be. You have to show strength and power. Now he got one of the coldest photos of all time. Like, literally, that photo is going to be in history books. That photo was everywhere. He got his hand up with the American flag in the back. That photo was everywhere. That photo wouldn't be there if he was laying on the ground crying. So when the tough times hit, you have to show strength. Even if you shit scared, even if you going through hard times, you have to show strength. Because that's what a good leader does. And I remember I thought my dad was going to die a couple years ago. I was going through it, man. Couldn't stop crying, you know, because me and my dad we were real close, man. So once that happened, like, I never really lost any. I done lost like grandparents and stuff like that, but I never lost somebody like super close to me. So when my dad was having health issues and it looked like he was on his way out, dawg, I was suffering. But I remember, like, I was crying in front of my brother one time and he didn't cry at all. He looked like he wanted to, but he didn't cry. And that gave me the feeling like everything's going to be okay. So that's what you got to be for your family. You got to be that rock that we look at you and we get hope from that. We feel like everything's going to be okay. That's what you got to be. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this time shall pass. You know, but the woman would say, oh, it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to have a dad bod. It's okay to slack off. She'll try to get you, oh, you work out too much. I done had women tell me that before. Oh, you work out too much. Then you stop working out, and they looking at the next dude that's working out too much. So don't never listen to what the woman says. You'd be a damn fool to do that. And if you let her lead the relationship, she gonna lead it right off the edge of a cliff. Yeah, she gonna lead that relationship to the end. I promise you. You cannot let the woman lead the relationship. A lot of these men that let the woman run the relationship, they constantly trying to prove themselves. You should never have to prove yourself to your woman. That's why she's your woman. You shouldn't have to be proving anything. And I see this time and time again. I heard a young man say this the other day. He said, my dad got 2 jobs. The one he goes to work every day, and then he comes home, and he's working his second job. Trying to make his wife happy. Dog, I don't want to live like that. And y'all shouldn't want to live like that either. That's not the way to live. Having 2 jobs. One job to make your wife happy. One job, you go to work every day. That's no way to be. But if you listen to her, that's the type of life you're going to be living. You're going to live that pathetic life. You're going to slack on your workouts. You're going to have that dad bod. You're going to be crying and be super emotional while she thinks about the other guy that doesn't act like that. While she thinks about the guy that does work out every day. And a lot of time they will sabotage you. She wants you to start getting fat and sloppy. So now she doesn't have any competition. She doesn't have anybody to worry about. Because you couldn't sleep with anybody if you wanted to. Now she don't have to worry about you cheating or anything like that because nobody else wants to sleep with you. So never listen to what the woman says. Look at her actions. Who is she really sleeping with? You know, because a lot of guys have bought into this whole dad bod thing. Oh yeah, she still likes me. She likes a little tummy. There's a small percentage of women that like that. And 9 times out of 10, they the big back, beluga back well girls. Yeah. They're the girls with the big backs. Yeah, that's them. They can go for the overweight guys. But the most attractive women, the women that are in shape, they don't want no big dude. They might want a stocky dude that's swole. That can like bench 400, 500 pounds. They might want one of those type of guys. Right? One of these dudes that look like he lifts a house. But they don't want this dude that just lays on the couch. Got skinny arms, skinny legs, but you got a big ass gut. They don't want that type of guy. And you be a fool for believing that. So never listen to what the woman says. Watch her actions. And that will change your life. If you just apply that, that will change your life. Don't listen to what she says, because she'll lie to you. A lot of times these women, they won't even lie. But they'll say so much extra bullshit that you will get confused. Yeah, they creatures of misdirection. Sometimes I ask a girl, would you date a guy that used to date guys? And they always say no. And I say, well, if that was the past, then why is it an issue? You know, because I've had many women tell me like, oh, you shouldn't be focused on a woman's past and stuff like that. So then I always bring that up. So if you would be focused on your man that, you know, used to get screwed. Now, some of these chicks, they weird. You know, some of these chicks, they're weirdos and they'll take the bisexual guy. Hey, to whatever they're into. But most girls I've talked to, you say, would you date a guy that used to be gay? Or would you date a guy that used to be bisexual? They say no. They say no. But then right after that, they will say the past doesn't matter. The past doesn't define you. You know? So just realize a lot of stuff they say doesn't make sense. A lot of them don't think everything through. Shit sounds good, so they say, that's how we're going. You know? And I remember I used to see a teacher, and she told me like, you know, all this stuff that was wrong with the country and stuff. And I asked her, I said, what would you do if you were president? What would you do? And then she told me a couple of things, and I like broke down each point how none of them make sense. She was like, oh, I'd print more money, and I'd make free healthcare, and I'd print more money, and all this other stuff. And I said, okay, so if you just gave everybody money, and you gave everybody free healthcare, what incentive does somebody have to work? I said, I don't really know. I said, if you lowered the prices of everything, like she claimed, and she gave everybody money, why would anybody work? If we could all have whatever we want. That's how she was talking, like, oh, we should all be able to have whatever. I said, like, really think that out. Does that make any sense at all? And this girl is a teacher. Like, this teaching the future. It had no deep thinking skills. She didn't think none of this shit through. So I tell y'all that to say this, bro. A lot of these women, they just say shit that sounds good, but when it comes into play, when it comes into action, it's complete bullshit. Whether it's the, oh, men should show their emotions. Whether it's the, oh, I like a dude with a dad bod. Whether, oh, we should accept all. Your past doesn't matter. They have this way of thinking, but when it comes into action, it's all bullshit. So never listen to what the woman says. Watch her actions. Because if you let that woman lead the relationship and they'll, oh, those gender roles, that's just from old misogyny. Men and women are the same. Men and women are equal. Okay, find out how that works out for you. Going 50-50 on everything, find out how that works out for you. right? You're going to end up in that relationship where she tried to withhold sex from you. No, we're not having sex this week. You didn't wash the dishes. We're not having sex this week. That's what you're going to end up in if you listen to everything she says. If you let her lead the relationship. You got to run this shit, or that shit not going anywhere. Right? Because she's going to run it straight to the end. And dudes that let the woman run the relationship, I promise you, it always ends badly. And a lot of time, she ends up cheating. What's up, man? I hear you. Yeah, man. But that's all I got for y'all today. Man, I'll catch y'all boys in the next one.